So we're looking at this list at number 9, Rasheed Walker, the Green Bay Packers left tackle. Definitely a young stud. Definitely a guy that's going to be very reliable and very useful to this organization. And it's nice to see young left tackles, being effective as they are because there was definitely a downplay of them. I think there's just a lot of left tackles that were aging, and I didn't know who was gonna take over, man. Were they gonna be a dying breed? But Rasheed Walker definitely one of those guys you want to look, you want to watch. Big guy, big frame, and yeah, like I said, he's gonna be a really good left tackle for a long time. 25 years old, 3 years in the league, 1 year, $3.40 million. He played 17 games, 1,073 snaps, had 9 penalties and 3 sacks. So pretty good season. I'm expecting him to be a future Pro Bowler, and hopefully he can continue to produce at a high level. Number 8, it's Jake Matthews. He's definitely gone up the rankings twice since last year, basically because of his ability of being a workhorse, his ability of consistently playing games. Ronnie Stanley again. While I think the talent, we can compare the two, but he's been, injured, and Rasheed Walker is young. So, Jake Matthews is a good spot for him. I think at times, like looking at him, he seems a little overrated, but he still gets it done at a high level. And he is a pretty big key piece of the Atlanta Falcons offensive line. He's 33 years old, 11 years in the league, 2 years, 45 million left in the contract. 17 games he played, 1,119 snaps, 8 penalties, and 5 sacks. I do want to see what he does. Hopefully, he limits the sack numbers, especially being a top 10 guy. So I'm excited, and I hope to see him this year and improve. 7 is going to be Garrett Bowles of the Denver Broncos. I think with these rankings, you're looking at an increase in guys just based on the fact that we do have some new players, and just players that have been proven to consistently get better. Garrett Bowles is gonna definitely climb up the ladder. He's had a great year this year. Definitely better than Jake Matthews in terms of number wise. And obviously Rasheed Walker, Ronnie Stanley, those guys. I mean, you know, they uh, they haven't really proven it. So Garrett Bowles is a good countdown for him. 33 years old, 8 years in the league, 4 years, $78 million, 17 games played, 1,069 snaps, 16 penalties and 2 sacks. Again, the penalties are outrageously awful, but I'd rather a offensive line have a large amount of penalties than a large amount of sacks. And 2 sacks given up is not bad at all. So Garrett Bowles continues to be a pretty important piece to the Denver Broncos line, and obviously it's going to help Bo Nix in the end. So overall, he is deserving of being number 7 on this list. Number 6 is going to be Deion Dawkins of the Buffalo Bills. Last year he was number 7. Yeah, this man has once again raised that ranking list. It's what happens when you make 4 straight Pro Bowls. It's what happens when you're a key contributor to the Buffalo offensive attack. Really, Deion Dawkins. He puts men in his place. He buries them in the ground. He's a great run blocker and he's agile. So overall, I really do like Deion Dawkins. I think he's really good left tackle. I think pretty underrated as a football player. Yeah, he's 31 years old, 8 years in the league. He's got 3 years, $56.36 million in the contract. 16 games that he played, 959 snaps, 13 penalties and 3 sacks. The penalties definitely can go down. 3 sacks given up is not bad for a left tackle. He was a Pro Bowl this year, again, for the fourth straight time. So, again, watch out for that. He's very effective. Obviously, Buffalo's always going to have the usual names, especially having Josh Allen, but offensive line needs credit too, and Deion Dawkins definitely needs a lot of credit for the success of the team. 5, we have Rashawn Slater of the Los Angeles Chargers. Definitely, ever since he's been drafted, he's just gotten better with time. And yeah, he's been phenomenal for this Chargers offense. Obviously, Justin Herbert is definitely feeding off of that. Having him and Joe Alt on 2 sides of that tackle position is huge. And like I said, it's very nice to see two young tackles that are definitely going to be impactful. They're obviously going to both want a lot of money, so we'll see what the Chargers do in the future with that. But Rashan Slater, much props to him being top five guy right now. 26 years old, 4 years in the league, 1 year, $19.04 million. Played 15 games. He had 903 snaps with 6 penalties and 3 sacks. He was a Pro Bowler this year. Yeah, he did not play full season, but Sean Slater's impact is known and is seen, and definitely a guy that like I said, you want if you're trying to build an offensive line. So yeah, great thing here, and yeah, deserving of being a top five guy. Definitely gonna get even better with time. Number four, it's Laramie Tonsel. Last year was number five. Um, yeah, uh, super, super duper superstar left tackle for a long time now. He's held his own. Obviously, came in the league with question marks over, you know, the weed mask there, but overall, he's been nothing short of just a very reliable left tackle. Nobody's gonna get past him, and he's really just built himself as a premier pass protecting tackle, and it's helped CJ Stroud, and it's going to help Jaden Daniels. I think it's a huge move for them to bring him to the Commanders. So good for them. Terrible for the Texans. I think that's a huge downgrade, but for the Commanders, fantastic. So yeah, Laramie Tunsil, 30 years old, 9 years in the league, 2 years, 42.7 million. 17 games played, 1,026 snaps, 19 penalties, and 2 sacks. A lot of penalties. I get it, but the 2 sacks, you can't go wrong with that. He was a Pro Bowler this year, so again, congrats on him. And yeah, he deserves to be here. Three is going to be Jordan Mailata from the Philadelphia Eagles. This left tackle has been phenomenal throughout his career in Philadelphia. Obviously, Super Bowl champs this year, so huge accomplishment to him. Definitely can see them going back to back with the amount of talent they have on this roster. Jordan Mailata still uh, very young, still is going to have a pretty good career, and definitely going to be. He's learned a lot, especially from Lane Johnson and being around him and being around Kelsey and all those veteran type guys. Yeah, Jordan Mailata is, like I said, is since he's been drafted has been amazing. Um, yeah, and he stays put just because it's really hard in terms of the other two guys to kind of put him higher. But he's there, man. He's right there. He's 28 years old, 7 years in the league, 4 years, $75.62 million. He played 12 games this year. He had 801 snaps, 5 penalties, and a sack, and that's why he's top three. He doesn't give up sacks like at all. Penalty wise, he's definitely getting better with it. Like I said, he was a Super Bowl champion. He was actually 17th in Offensive Player of the Year voting, and he was a second team All Pro. So, again, very much well deserved, and I'm excited to see what he does this coming year. Two, it's going to be Trent Williams. Last year was actually number one, mainly because of the injuries and because of honestly the number one guy who was outstanding this year. Yeah, I just had to give him that shot at being number one for now. Obviously, with age, I do believe Trent Williams will probably go down. But I mean, I feel like this is a guy that's going to be a top 10 guy until he retires, and he's still going at it, man, for such a long time. The ability of what he's been able to do for Washington, obviously with San Fran now, has been tremendous. Just one of the most athletically gifted offensive linemen in NFL history. A first ballot Hall of Famer, absolutely. He's just been phenomenal throughout his entire career and continues to do so. Trent Williams is 36 years old, 14 years in the league, 2 years, $55 million in the deal, or 55.01. But if you want to take technical, he only played 10 games. He had 649 snaps, 5 penalties, and 1 sack. No accolades, but if he would have stayed healthy, this is an All Pro. It's a multiple time All Pro, multiple time Pro Bowler, and yeah, a huge anchor. So I'm excited to see what he does, and he deserves to be on this countdown. The number one left tackle for this year. That's Tristan Wirfs. Last year he was number two, basically because of Trent Williams, but now we're switching it up. Tristan Wirfs, offered an entire season of just stability, and obviously a huge, huge portion of this Bucks offense and their success has been because of Tristan Wirfs. He's an animal, man. He's an animal. He continues to work hard every single play, and he's got a high motor. So overall, still young and still gonna be could be arguably one of the best left tackles in NFL history if he continues the route he's going. Tristan Wirfs, 26 years old, 5 years in the league, 5 years, $132.62 million. 16 games that he played, 1,014 games play snaps, eight penalties, no sacks given up in the 1,019 snaps he's played. No sacks, very impressive. Again, huge. Definitely, if you're Baker Mayfield, you're happy about knowing that he's got you at all times, and you're just never gonna be able to feel pressure from that side of the ball. So it's nice. He was a Pro Bowler and he's a first team All Pro guy. I definitely want to see him continuously do what he needs to do and stay healthy. And yeah, I mean he is the best left tackle in the game so far.